It is Monday, and I feel like Mondays are always kind of hard to get going into a new week. And it's especially hard following a holiday, or for us it was fall break, so a vacation week. And I was sick over that time. So I thought I'd bring you along for just some real mom life inspiration. Let's get through Monday together. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually almost noon when I'm starting this vlog. I've already been up and around and, gotten out for a walk, done my Bible study, done a little work on the computer, cleaned up, gotten in the shower. But now it's time to get something going in the crock pot for dinner. We're gonna be kind of going different directions tonight as a family, so a crock pot meal is in order. I didn't get my every plate order canceled in time this week, so they sent me a box with 3 meals. And I wasn't super excited about the meals they sent. However, I was able to come up with a plan to use everything over the next week. I'm just kind of rearranging all of the ingredients to make different things. So right now I'm browning up the Italian sausage they sent for a different recipe in my slow cooker that has a saute function. And I'm gonna use the potatoes that they sent me to make like French fries instead. I'm gonna chop them up and put them in here and make a zuppa toscana. That's what we're gonna do with this, so that I can get it going in the crock pot and then we can all eat it whenever we want to this evening. One thing that I did was make a meal plan for the week and write it down, and I'm gonna post it on the refrigerator because without fail, the first question the kids ask me when they get in the car from school or activities or band or sports practice is, what's for dinner? And it doesn't matter how many times I tell them. I may have told them in the morning, I may have laid out the meal plan. Sometimes it has to do with what I'm filming for my other channel. This week I'm not filming a dinners video, so I'm just using what we have on hand and the things from my every plate meals. But I'm telling you, I get so tired of over and over again answering that question. I'm just gonna be like, go to the fridge, go to the fridge, go to the fridge. Every time they ask me what's for dinner, there it is. It's there for everybody to see. And yes, I have to use tape because magnets don't work on the front of my stainless steel fridge. It's not magnetic. Another thing I am doing is trying to catch up on comments on my latest video. I posted a video last Thursday, and that was the day that I started to get sick. I normally would respond to a lot of the comments that come in those first 24 to 48 hours, but I was pretty much down for the count, and I haven't responded to very many of them. There's 120 comments on my latest video. That's actually less than I would normally have. I do try to go through and read as many as I can and put a little heart there so people know that I've read them. I try to answer some questions if I can. Unfortunately, I've reached the point where I can't always respond to every single comment. And sometimes if they come in later, like at the end of the week after the video's been up and I've already moved on to the next video, I just don't always see them. But that's one of the things that a lot of people don't always, see happens behind the scenes when you're doing this kind of work, is staying engaged with the people who are watching and supporting. Raise your hand if you are a woman with a lot of tabs open in your brain at any given time. That's probably most women, especially moms, if we're being honest. I mean, I'm sure it can happen to men and to dads, but I just feel like men's brains are wired differently. At least where my husband is concerned. He's a very productive person, but usually he's gonna take it one task at a time. I am a person, I'm in various stages of different tasks all the time. In fact, my husband and I were having this conversation a few weeks ago when I was telling him, I was having one of those days when I just felt kind of overwhelmed by it all. And I was telling him, man, I guess I need to just, choose some things to give up. I need to say no to more things, which is not a bad idea. But my husband said, he was just speaking honestly to me, like, Mindy, you've been saying that for like 20 years. Maybe you're just a person who is gonna function this way. Like, it's not like things have you've fallen through the cracks or gone wrong. Maybe you're just a person who's actually able to handle this. Maybe you are just a high capacity person. That was something that another person said to me recently, like, you are a high capacity person, because I can like wear a lot of hats. Oh, but it sure does make me feel kind of like a hot mess a lot of the time. I bring that up because today is one of those days when I have a lot of just little tasks across multiple areas of my life. Of course, there's always the home, the house, the kids, the cooking, the cleaning, all that kind of stuff woven in with the other things that I'm doing. If you're stumbling upon this channel, this is actually my second channel, this is kind of like a hobby vlog channel, but my primary channel, I make a lot of cooking content, so I've got that job. My background is in music, teaching specifically, so I'm actually working in the worship department at my church right now as well. And so I've got all these like little tasks that need to be checked off the list across like all of those different categories, you know? So if that's you, you're not alone. When I was a kid, I was very good at school. I enjoyed school, and school was one of those things that had a very specific end, right? We had tasks that were completed. We had assignments and projects that had an end date, the end of the school day, the end of the school week, the end of the school year. Like there was always a way to like tie up loose ends, and that's just not how life is. It's just like, it's ongoing, right? I'm starting to accept the fact that I am just a person that is always going to fill the space in my life. And that's not to say I shouldn't create space for rest and delight and for Sabbath and, you know, all of the things that we need to stay healthy and well-rounded. I just think that I'm looking for this, what's the word? This sort of concise way to end every single day, having checked everything off the list. And I just don't think that's the life that I'm gonna live. It's just not what life is going to be for me. Learning to accept that some things go unfinished from day to day has been like a huge light bulb moment for me. Maybe you guys are already there. Hopefully I'm making sense. I'm probably just rambling. Maybe somebody out there can relate to that. I know y'all are always so happy to get a weather update from me because I'm always talking about the weather. I'm being facetious, but I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for fall, and we keep having little glimpses of it, and then summer returns. So seriously, we had highs in the 70s last week, lows, a few lows even in the 30s overnight, and now we're back to a high of like 89 the next few days. I'm wearing sandals right now. I'm wearing sandals, and it's super annoying because it's almost November. Okay, serious question for you guys. My husband and I were talking about this the other day. Do you think Oreo has shrunk their double stuff? Like seriously, that doesn't look like double stuff to me. Not the way it used to look. Am I just crazy? Has anybody else noticed that? Maybe I'm just not remembering right, but that looks like a normal stuff Oreo to me. It does not look like double stuff. Is it just me? And now I just finished the edit for my next video over on my primary channel. It's a crockpot soups video. And actually, I guess, I don't know if that's gonna be going up before or after this video. They might be going up around the same time, but just in the nick of time because it's time to go get the kids. So away we go in the mom shuttle. Well, surprise, surprise, here I am at the grocery store. It's sort of an occupational hazard that I end up at the grocery store almost every day. But when you make cooking content, you kind of need to run in and grab some things. I actually probably could have gotten by without a grocery trip this week, except we're out of fruit and bread, which are two main components of my kids' lunches that they pack every day. Well, tell me you're living in 2024 without telling me you're living in 2024. Even though we only needed bread and fruit at the grocery store, I still managed to spend $75. I mean, I picked up some extra stuff, and I picked up a few cases of diet soda, some non-essentials, definitely. But I mean, sometimes I'm just like, wow, we are really not able to get as much for the money, seems like these days, unless we're being super thrifty. And if I'm being honest today, I was not. I was definitely not. And by the way, I've gotten some comments about this, and I am trying to grow my hair out. It's kind of pathetic right now. I've always kept it real, like, not always, but for the past 6 or 7 years, I've kept it mostly like bobbed at my chin, and I like that haircut. But I was just kind of getting a little tired of it, wanted to try something new. When I start to grow it out, it gets to this length and I get kind of impatient. I also have really thin hair. I have thinner hair, so I have to find like the right products to try to give it a little oomph. And I found some good stuff. I'll see if I can get a picture of it and post it here. I can't remember what the name, it's like Kristen S or something like that. It's from Target. There's like a liquid mousse that I use when I blow dry my hair, and then like some blow drying mist and stuff. And I think it works really, really well. And just like good old fashioned Velcro curlers, you know, like from the 90s, to kind of give it a little volume on those first few days. But I will admit that I do end up like pulling it back into a clip like the second and third days, or third and fourth days between washes. But that's what's going on with my hair, if you're wondering. And I don't know, I'll probably get impatient and chop it all off, but I like being able to have it long enough that you can like curl it or braid it, especially in the summer, like being able to pull it up. So I'm gonna give it a little longer and see what we can do. We are heading in to watch a little volleyball, a little 6th grade volleyball. Okay, we just walked in the door from volleyball. It was actually a really fun game to watch. The teams were very evenly matched. I mean, these are all beginners. Ken has never played before. And they just had 2 little 6th grade teams at her school. And we thought it would be a good opportunity for her to meet some of the girls at her new school this year. She definitely has a knack for it. And the last game of the 3 they played in the match was a real barn burner. They had to come back from behind, and Kenna was the last person to serve in that game. So she was able to get the win for them. But now I am hungry. It is time for soup. If I'm telling about your game-winning serves.
I only had like 3 on the last one.
Well, that's all the points you needed on that one. You had several other really good serves. You got to serve a lot tonight. If you're thinking to yourself, gosh, this video was kind of boring, or at the very least ordinary, you're probably right. And actually that's one thing that I'm going for with my vlogs, not necessarily boring, but I want to normalize just everyday average life with the vlogs, especially family life. I think sometimes we can get caught up in the content space like YouTube or Instagram, thinking that all of these models and all of these, you know, well thought out, well planned, scripted videos are what happens every day in a regular family home. And quite frankly, I don't think that's true. At least it's not true in my home. A lot of it is just sort of your standard, average, ordinary. And sometimes it feels really good to know that somebody else is out there doing that. So I hope that I checked that box for you today, especially if you are watching this on a Monday or any day when you're kind of having trouble like jumping back into it. Or if you were a person like me who has a lot of tabs open, you're a high capacity person and you're just looking for that inspiration and that camaraderie to go through your day and enjoy all the things that you're doing. I hope you got that here in this video.